You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. This is Goddess Kelli, the diva of sports debate. I'm here with the first lady of sports talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. We got CJ out of Chi-Town. And this week, check out the music on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Hustle Made JHooks. Will they find their shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? It is time for Funny Ladies, so let's get our giggle on. Producer, roll it.
You are my favorite addiction. Baby daddy, 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 baby daddy. Child support, 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 child support. Girl, you about to make them laugh so hard. Somebody gonna pee on themselves just a little bit. What you about to do? Girl, I'm about to make them laugh. That's what you about to do. All right, success. Right. I watched this movie called Who Framed Roger Rabbit when I was young, and there's a scene in the movie where the detective says to the rabbit, "Why are all these people doing this nice stuff for you?" And the rabbit says, "Because I make them laugh, Eddie. If you make people laugh, they'll do anything for you."
Now that was a good one. But First Lady, I think we are ready, so what you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as Amanda Hopkins is flying far away from a 50-year barrier in Major League Baseball. Flap those wings. Amanda Hopkins has become the first female full-time baseball scout in 50 years and is being modest about it. Should she? The last female to be a full-time scout was Edith Houghton, 50 years back when Spitface and Old Grumpy used to play. The Mariners gave her a chance after 2 years. She earned her place, but we wonder what is going on with the other teams, and when will we see a female manager or GM? Iris Fontbona, Suzanne Clatton, Brigitte Rousing, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? I mean, this is great. I mean, first of all, kudos to the Seattle Mariners for giving a female an opportunity to be a scout. Let's celebrate this moment. I mean, in researching, there have been a few female GMs in the minor leagues. The Atlanta Braves, they have Shari Massengill as an assistant GM with the Gwyneth Braves. And more importantly, Kim Ng has been an assistant. I might be pronouncing her name wrong too, but it might be Ng. But anyway, she has been an assistant GM with the Dodgers and the Yankees in the majors. As a matter of fact, Ng has interviewed 7 times for a general manager position, and that's good news that she's getting interviews. I mean, you can't say anything's wrong with that. At least the major leagues are giving females interviews. But she probably is like a qualified person. And she's currently working as a senior VP for baseball operations for the major league. So I really think major leagues is closer to having their first GM in baseball than having their manager, because the Major League Baseball, they have an initiative to get more women involved in executive positions within the Major League Baseball. I mean, females like Ng will finally get a chance to be a GM on a major league team. But I think it's going to take a while before we get a female manager. I mean, I think it's going to be a long time before we have a female manager if it is up to the men in the league. Because, you know, baseball is an all-boys network, like most of the leagues, basketball and the NFL. So to me, the only way that we're going to get a female manager, one of these ladies who's going to be a female general manager will have to create their own league and hire their own female manager. So, like I said, I think a general manager is more prudent. It'll be easier for them to be a general manager than to be a manager. So, I really think it's going to come down the pipe. And you know what? I really didn't think that baseball would be closer to the closer than the NBA to hiring a GM. To be honest with you, and I think that Major League Baseball probably is more closer because at least you have people interviewing for these positions. Goddess Kelly, what do you think about this situation?
Well, I think women are perfectly suited to be talent scouts when it comes down to giving an evaluation of what somebody is and isn't capable. I think that us as women, I think we have a better ability to separate what is fact and what is intuition, and we have a better ability to see overall potential than men. I think that's just the way our minds work. I love to preach equality between the sexes, but there is difference in the way our brains work, and I think that we are better able to separate those sections. And I think that we all also have, the whole women's intuition thing, where if a player's having a bad day, we might be able to see that and be able to see the potential underneath and know a little bit better than a man who is going to be a better player. But when it comes to women getting other jobs, such as maybe coaching jobs or GM jobs, that kind of thing, I'm really torn on that idea. Not because I don't think that women can do it, but a coach or a GM needs to be able to get into that locker room and motivate the team that way. And I don't know if you guys know this, but pro sports players, when they're in that locker room, they're letting everything all hang out. It needs to be a place where everybody is comfortable. And I don't know if the players would be comfortable with a woman stepping into that man haven where they feel comfortable to do that. And I mean, it's the truth. They do. They walk around there completely and utterly naked. And you don't want a lady walking in on you when you're doing that kind of thing. So I think that a woman could be a fantastic GM. Doing the deals, getting the money. Women can be sharks when it comes to that kind of thing. But in terms of coaching, I think we're still miles and miles away from it. I mean, if you think about it, in football, they have the Rooney Rule, where they are required to interview a minority candidate for any kind of head coaching or GM job that becomes available. They don't have anything like that for women. So women don't get their foot in the door as easily as other people do. But I think our time is coming. I just don't want to see women subjected to that locker room thing.
All right. Well, you know what, Goddess Kelly, you still got female reporters walking around the clubhouse with the half-naked men and naked men. So, I mean, the reporters broke that barrier a while back. So, I mean, I still think it is open for women to actually go into the clubhouses and everything. But good points there. CJ.
Yes.
Give me your feedback regarding it.
Well, I don't know if you guys caught this series on television, but it was called Pitch. And it was about a female pitcher in the major leagues. Now, I know that sounds far-fetched, but just recently in the little leagues, there were females who were showing extreme talents in baseball. And I believe that women can become the coach. Now, in this show, it did bring up that same point, Goddess Kelly, is that Americans need to become more comfortable with their bodies and not view nudity as something that is so outlandish or so absurd to see. And if we could get over that prudishness, maybe, then going into the locker room wouldn't be such a problem, because we would be connecting with each other on a human level rather than on a social level of you don't have on your clothes, you came out of Eden, now you don't have your clothes on. If we could just talk to each other, I think women could be a very good coach. It would take a little bit of the sting out of it, because every now and then some players that are in a slump, especially in baseball, and we can definitely see that, they need a little motivation. And females could do that. Now, will it happen in the next 20 years? Probably not. But maybe when I'm 90, sitting up in the bleachers at Wrigley Field with my little Cub hat on, throwing out the first pitch.
All right. Well, I hope we don't have to wait that long, CJ, before you get 90 in 20 years. I hope that, like I said, I really think there's going to be a female general manager before there will be a female coach for some of the reasons that everybody has talked about. I just think women as executives have always been, in every industry, you have women in executives. So to me, Major League Sports shouldn't be any different. And we do have some women in executive roles, obviously in business administration, that type of role in sports. But when it comes to operations, whether it's the NBA, football, or baseball, I believe it's going to happen. So we'll see. CJ, please take us to the break. Oh, excuse me. No, we're not talking about. I'm a little bit ahead of time. It's over to you, Goddess Kelli.
Trying to skip my segment. I see how it goes, First Lady. I see it.
You see?
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition, I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest. That'll get you sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Ann Cox Chambers, Savitri Jindal, or Abigail Johnson. We are talking about the knockout punch Conor McGregor, allegedly, plans to land on Money Mayweather by fighting dirty. Is it time to call in Pigpen? Is McGregor simply misinformed about the Marquis of Queensberry rules? Are the viewers hoping for a little dirty fighting given Conor is an MMA fighter? Does Money Mayweather have anything to worry about, like an accidental groin kick, or is this just hype to get more people to pay for the fight? Christy Walton, Lillian Battencourt, Alice Walton are asking, what you saying? You know what? I do think that the fans are hoping to see something a little bit dirty. This is a $100 fight, and we're talking about trash talk of epic proportions. I was just talking about this last night. This fight a year ago, none of us thought this fight was even going to happen. We thought it was crazy. There could never be a crossover between MMA and traditional boxing, but now it's upon us. It is about a week away now, and we are going to see these two go at it. And I really do. I think the fans are hoping to see a spectacle. I don't think they care about a clean fight. I think they just want to see entertainment, because that's what this is. This fight really is. It's a circus. That's why people are watching it. They're not watching it to see pure boxing. So I think Conor McGregor, we might actually see him throw out something that might be a little illegal, but I think Money Mayweather is going to be ready for it. You got to remember, he is the best defensive boxing genius of our time. So whatever Conor is going to throw at him, whether it be a legal punch or whether it be a slide kick to the groin, he's going to be anticipating that. And Floyd Mayweather is going to win this fight. Mark my words on that one. First Lady, what do you got to say about it?
Ladies, if you remember, I think we had it on a flip bit. I said the only way Conor McGregor could win this fight if he reverts to dirty tricks and dirty tactics. I mean, he's a possibility that he can elbow Mayweather during the breaks, and he's going to probably revert to dirty tactics. And you know what? The obvious key to deter dirty tactics is the referee. So depending on who is the referee in the ring, that's going to make a big difference in the world. Because if the referee allows all of this nonsense, then, McGregor will definitely have a chance to win. If the referee makes it clean, then obviously it's going to be more to boxing. And if you remember, McGregor just recently got the glove size changed from 10 ounce to 8 ounce. And that favors him as a boxer that has a puncher chance, because, he has more of the punching power than Floyd Mayweather. So, I'm just saying this is a boxing match, not an MMA match. So I'm just seeing what are they going to allow? Is the referee going to allow all these dirty tactics? So again, I give McGregor a puncher's chance, and that's 1% chance to win the fight. But the dirtier the fight becomes, clearly McGregor has a better chance to win. But I mean, obviously, I think Floyd's going to win. It's not without a doubt that Floyd's going to win. But it may be a little bit more difficult for him if the fight is dirty. So again, like I said, it's going to be big on the referee. So have to see who this referee is, and we'll go from there.
CJ, what you saying about Conor McGregor and Floyd Money Mayweather?
I think that it's definitely got to bring up some type of hype, because you and I both know we weren't going to pay for it in the first place. At least I wasn't going to pay to see him. So
I'm still on the fence.
I'm buying it. I'm going to see it.
therefore,
Yeah.
I
I'm
know
going to
you're
probably
going to
suck
see
it
it.
up and buy it too eventually, but I don't know.
I
Yeah,
know,
like
but I can wait to HBO, because, you see, I don't think it's a fair fight in the first place. I don't think that they're going to play fair, and if they don't play fair, someone could seriously get injured and hurt. And this is for life, and it won't be entertainment anymore. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a nice, clean fight, that you guys are going to get your money's worth, and everything is going to be great. And I'm going to watch it on HBO and say, I wish I was there the first time. But I'm
Well,
not sure about
I mean, CJ, I'm sure you'll be able to watch it on Facebook Live too, because people are always streaming that stuff. But on that note, CJ, take us to break.
Okay. Well, now, the first listeners that call in and for the shout out of why the ladies are grouped together will receive $25 gift card from our partners at the NFLshop.com and Victoria's Secrets. Now, here's your hint. They know money. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Hustle Made JHooks, and on the first part of shout out,
Free Mr. Vine.
the music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. Goddess Kelli, I can't wait to hear the music from Hustle Made JHooks.
Well, on Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we're going to give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute button. Today, we are featuring music from Hustle Made JHooks. Let's hear the song Kryptonite.
Shorty, she a rider, always got a business. I like to call her kryptonite, 'cause she is my weakness. Don't need a provider, 'cause she's independent. I ain't wrong, so care about my dog. Shorty, she a rider, always got a business. I like to call her kryptonite, 'cause she is my weakness. Don't need a provider, 'cause she's independent. I ain't wrong, so care about my dog. It's been a long day and I can't wait to get home, 'cause I know my baby's waiting at home. She is such a blessing, I don't have to look no more, 'cause I found the queen. She's not the type that likes to gossip, always has to have a nail done, 'cause my baby is a real one. I'm so glad I found a song. Always got a business. I like to call her kryptonite, 'cause she is my weakness. Don't need a provider, 'cause she's independent. I don't ain't wrong, so care about my dog. Shorty, she a rider, always got a business. I like to call
All right, that was Kryptonite from Hustle Made JHooks. Is the track getting a shout out or the mute button? And I can tell you from me, if that song was Kryptonite, then I must be Superman, because that just drained me of all my energy and all my power. What in the world was that? That song was a mess. That was terrible. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was listening to, but I am not impressed at all. CJ, what did you think?
Oh, I was about to try and get a sleep in there for a second. It's very good for that. It's kryptonite, all right. Give it to everybody with 2 doses of melatonin. It's snoozed.
First Lady. I think it put First Lady to sleep.
See, I told you.
That was a hot mess. That song was just a hot mess. I don't understand it. I mean, why would you even try to put something together like that? The production was horrible. I mean, the music was horrible. The singing was horrible. Even just everything was horrible. That probably was one of the worst songs I've heard on Shout Out. To be honest with you, that's how I feel about it. Hitting the mute button.
Well, on part 2 of Shout Out, we're going to give Hustle Made JHooks another chance, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I think I hear the sound of our favorite underwater friend. Is it time for Flip It?
And we know Flippers live in a world full of wonder, lying there under the sea.
It's time for Flip It, where our host does set a point, then flip the script and defend the opposing view. You are Zeke Elliott, and you have been hit with a 6-game suspension. Your daddy says you will appeal. Appeals don't work too well in the NFL. What does our panel say? Defend. Zeke may get the suspension reduced a couple of games. Why not? It can't hurt. Go ahead and appeal. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Well, sometimes you appeal and you do get the ruling turned in your favor. Look at Tom Brady with Deflategate. He appealed and he got his suspension reduced, so why can't Ezekiel Elliott try it? And if you think about it, a court of law did not even file charges against Zeke. So this is the NFL just doing their own thing. So without a criminal conviction, without clear-cut proof, without the law getting involved, I think 6 games is extremely harsh. And you know what? You guys know I am not a Cowboys fan. I don't want them to have Zeke, but I do think that he is being treated completely unfairly. So I do think that he should appeal it. I think it should be knocked down to 3 games at the most. If you look at some of the other people that got hit with domestic violence, their suspensions were not this strict unless it was a much larger case, such as like Ray Rice, and he was not even suspended for as long as he was until after the video came out. And I don't think what Ezekiel Elliott did had nearly the evidence or the impact as what Ray Rice did. So Zeke, go ahead, get your appeal, get back on the field, let people feed you that ball.
All right, Goddess Kelly. No video evidence should be reduced suspension. CJ, defend. Zeke may get the suspension reduced a couple of games. Can it hurt? Okay.
It can't hurt for him to get an appeal. It really can't. I mean, why not? As Goddess Kelly said, everybody else has had a chance to plead. Only thing they can do is say no. He really doesn't want to be on the sidelines for 6 games. Everybody looking at him, making fun of him. No. He wants to have this behind him to get on playing football. So he's definitely going to try and get that appeal. And he's going to show you his best foot forward from now on.
All right. Best foot forward. Okay. Well, Zeke's name is already associated with domestic violence, and people already have an opinion about the situation. So even if the dirty details come out, at least Zeke could have a chance to reduce his games. And you know what? This is Zeke's chance to prove his innocence according to his standards. You know, let's prove it, right? I mean, there is some inconsistency with the victim's story for the DA not to pursue domestic charges, as Goddess Kelly said. You know, they didn't bring any charges against him. So Zeke's representatives will have to emphasize this to get the gains reduced. You know, so I'm looking at it this way. Any reduction of gains, even if it's only 1 game, is better than sitting out 6 games. So Zeke, hey, you have nothing to lose. Go ahead and appeal it. Just go ahead and appeal it. What do you got to lose? You have absolutely nothing. You know, go up and stand up against Roger Goodell. That's what you got to do. So anyway, this is where we flip the script so you don't know what our panelists are thinking. The NFL is totally concerned about their image. The dirt they will unload on Zeke to justify the suspension will hurt him more than being quiet. And taking the suspension, he should not appeal. CJ, defend.
He should try and be quiet and let tiptoes right through these 6 games and let nobody else mention it again in life. Yeah, he should just take his little punishment. What's the difference if he just sits there? If he sits there and he goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, by the 5th game, you're going to say, Zeke who?
All right.
He'd be an afterthought.
Okay. CJ said he's an afterthought. You say he should tiptoe through those games. All right. Goddess Kelly, defend. He should not appeal.
Well, the NFL has been so tarnished by domestic violence, not even just against women, but also against children. If we look at the past few years in the NFL, we had the stuff with Josh Brown, we had the stuff with Ray Rice, we had the stuff with Adrian Peterson, we had the stuff with Greg Hardy, another cowboy, I might add. The NFL is taking such a beating, pun intended there, on all of these violent accusations. It's time for them to take a stand. When you get into the NFL, you have to sign a personal conduct clause. Now, Charles Barkley always said athletes are not role models, and I happen to agree with that. But when you are in the public spotlight, there are certain things that you cannot allow yourself to get caught doing, and beating up on women is one of them. The NFL is sick of it. They've been losing fans over it. They have been criticized the world over for how they let these violent thugs continue to play the game. So Ezekiel Elliott, if he wants to save his reputation and have a long career in the NFL, he needs to shut up. He needs to take his suspension. When he comes back, he needs to be knocked down a few pegs, and he needs to be humble, because he's been all flashy with his little half shirts, his little abs hanging out, that kind of thing. And this is the last thing he needs for people that already think that he's a scumbag. So he needs to take the suspension, not appeal it, stop beating up on women, and the NFL needs to say, we are not going to stand for this anymore, and they need to crack down. And if Ezekiel Elliott needs to be the whipping boy for them to get them to knock down domestic violence and to get it out of the spotlight, so be it.
All right, Goddess Kelly, you see the whipping boy. Ooh. Well, let me just put it this way. Zeke definitely should not appeal because, number one, he has never denied the fact that he abused his ex-girlfriend. I mean, if you are innocent, wouldn't you come out adamantly and state that? I mean, he released a statement to the public, never said that I didn't do it. I mean, let's face it, even people who are guilty, they still lie in your face and deny the accusations, but not Zeke. He probably did it. He definitely probably did it. So how did she get those bruises on her body? They did release some evidence, those pictures. Now, supposedly the NFL has many text messages around the dates of the incident. I'm quite sure Zeke doesn't want those text messages released because they probably show some culpability. Clearly, if Zeke doesn't want his name to be dragged in the mud, he should just suck it up and take his punishment and move on. And that's how I feel, because I don't think Zeke is innocent, because to me, if you are innocent, you are going to state that you did not do this. Hey, look at Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was guilty as said, but what did he say? I did not have sexual relationship with that woman. Okay, he may not have the actual intercourse, but we know what he did. But still, the point is, he was guilty. He denied it. Everybody denies. Everybody who's in prison, they usually deny that they didn't do it. But anyway, Zeke didn't do it. So hey, let him talk about the whole season. So if he doesn't take the appeal, they'll be talking about his name throughout the whole season. All right, CJ, take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It, Part 2.
Free Mr. Vaughn.
Or at least have them say I didn't do it.
Still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. Goddess Kelli, over to you.
I think we have something interesting for the panel and our listeners. A kangaroo punches young boy in the face at wildlife park. A mother visiting a wildlife park with her family captured video of an annoyed kangaroo punching her young son in the face. The video shows the family visiting the wildlife park in Glen Waverley, a suburb of Melbourne. The boy attempts to feed an emu while a kangaroo watches close by, and the marsupial appears annoyed when the boy hesitates in holding out the hood. The kangaroo punches the boy on the left side of his face and quickly hops away, leaving the boy holding his face and laughing. This kind of to me, this sounds like a metaphor for what's going to happen next week with Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. I can just see it. Conor McGregor is going to just hop up there, punch Floyd in the face, and Floyd's just going to stand there laughing. But hey, that's just my 2 cents on the funnies. But oh my, I think I'm hearing the water splashing. So it is time for our favorite underwater friend. It is time for Flip It.
Okay, well, again, it's where our panel, we defend a point and we flip the script. I know it's preseason, but we are wondering, is the quarterback of the Colts, Andrew Luck, a contender or pretender? Panel defend. Andrew Luck is simply a young Tony Romo. He is a pretender. CJ, defend.
His name is Luck. He's not a pretender. He's the real Lucky Deal. He's going to do it for him. There's no
CJ,
question.
this is the pretender, not a contender, so defend.
Oh, he's a pretender. Oh, if he's pretending to be a Tony Romo, oh no, he's not pretending. He can't do that one. He's got to practice a little more. Just give him a chance. He'll get up there. Eventually, he'll make it. But not this season.
Okay. Goddess Kelli. Andrew Luck is a pretender. He's the great pretender. Defend.
Well, you said Andrew Luck is simply a young Tony Romo, and there is a lot of similarities between Tony Romo and Andrew Luck. They both suck, and they're both like a car you get from the car rental because they don't sell stick shifts when you rent a car because they got no clutch. Neither one of them can get it done when it actually counts. Sure, they've got some good regular season stats behind their names, but none of them can get it done in a game-winning scenario. Zero clutch, zero poise, zero charisma. The only difference between Andrew Luck and Tony Romo is Tony Romo actually had a good offensive line. So yeah, Andrew Luck, pretender.
Okay, Goddess Kelli. I just probably need to say ditto after that because I agree with you wholeheartedly. Tony Romo was a pretender, and he just couldn't get it done in the big games, and so is Andrew Luck. I mean, I remember back when everybody was trying to tank to get Andrew Luck. You remember back then? He was the number one draft pick, and he was touted in 2012. And look where he is now. I mean, really, there's some other better young quarterbacks than Andrew Luck. I look at Russell Wilson. He was drafted in the 3rd round. He's better than Andrew Luck. Even Jameson, he's getting better than Andrew Luck. So Andrew Luck really has been a major disappointment. Now, granted, not all of it is his fault, but a lot of it is. And he just, for some reason, he makes big mistakes at big time. He's always throwing interceptions. And he's just not what we thought he was going to be. I mean, we really thought he was the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. He had a big arm and everything, but he just hasn't done it. So he's definitely a pretender. So
I got my Stanford degree, though.
You say you got yourself a degree. Okay. Well, he's a pretender. Now, Andrew Luck is a contender. The Colts need to get him a line. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Do they need to get him an offensive line, or do they need to get him a line of cocaine? I'm not sure where we're going there with that one, but
Oh.
Well, you just tell us what you want to go.
with Andrew Luck, though, if you look at Andrew Luck, he is a very talented pocket passer. That is what he is good at. And you can't be a good pocket passer in the NFL unless you have an offensive line. He has got the talent. He just doesn't have the supporting cast. Give that boy some time to hold on to the ball, let his targets get downfield. You will see how big and strong his arm is. He is a great quarterback that was thrust into a bad situation, and a Tannehill who's hurt now, and that's what's going to happen to Andrew Luck if the Colts can't get him that protection. They also need to get a run game there, take some of that pressure off of Andrew Luck. He's very talented. They're just not doing enough for him. Build the team around the quarterback if you want to have a future. That's how you win in the NFL.
All right. Build around the quarterback. Build that offensive line. CJ, defend. Andrew Luck is a contender. The Colts need to get him a line, and we are not talking about cocaine. Anyway, go ahead, CJ.
No, that's the reason why he would still be a contender. I got that one, Goddess Kelli. I got that wholeheartedly. Whoever want him to stay on the straight and narrow, but we want him to stay quick. So hopefully he's getting more vitamin C than that other C. and he can stay out of trouble.
Run.
Getting
Run.
some vitamin C, huh, CJ? Than the
Run.
other C. I like that, CJ. I like that. Well, Andrew Luck, he had a good year last year despite having shoulder problems. He had this problems since 2015. But the main thing, as we all know, he has the poorest offensive line in the NFL. Luck is still a top 5 quarterback in the league, regardless of his offensive line. He's not the one who's underperforming. It's the darn line that's underperforming, and it's the GM that's never built up that offensive line. His team has failed to put him in a good situation. Like Goddess Kelly said, can you imagine Andrew Luck with the Dallas Cowboys offensive line? He would be the second coming of Brady, Rodgers, and Joe Montana all mixed up together. That's how good Andrew Luck would be if he was given a chance. And he's never given a chance because of his poor offensive line. Please give him the man a chance. Let him throw the ball. Please, please, please. All right, CJ, take us to break.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Hustle made JHooks on Shoutout. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, he can turn it to Andrew, Rogers,
Lucky is not.
Brady.
Listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shoutout, Part 2, Jambalaya and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. First Lady, over to you.
We have another performance from Hustle Made JHooks. All right, DJ, let's hear Get Gone. Uh, all right, that's Hustle Made JHooks with Get Gone. All right, let's go to our panel to see if the track is going to get a shout or we're going to hit the mute button. CJ, what did you think of Get Gone?
I applaud their efforts. I'm glad they weren't out in the streets trying to rob and stick up anybody. But they need to stay in the studio a little bit longer. We've got to put a mute on that one.
Okay. All right. CJ said, put some more I can't even speak here. Put some more work in the studio. Goddess Kelli,
Well,
are you
all right.
feeling this one?
The track is called Get Gone, and Hustle Made JHooks needs to get gone from the music industry. He can't sing. He can't arrange music. He's got no good beats. Hustle Made JHooks, for your sake, I don't know what you look like, but I hope that you're good looking, because that's about the only way you're going to get ahead in life. So I hope you're either good looking or you're rich, because you got no talent, honey. I'm sorry.
Ooh. Well, let me put it this way. I'm going to say that the second track was definitely better than the first track. So he has shown some improvements, but it's not where it needs to be. So I'm definitely going to hit the mute button, but at least he did show some improvement. That's the best I can say. Well, that's the end of the shout out. If you like what you heard from Hustle Made JHooks, check him out at Triple H Productions 3hp.work. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldgrumpyradio.com. Goddess Kelli, I smell some jambalaya. Over to you.
We have got a special mix of jambalaya for our panel today. I am going to read you guys a quote, and then I'm going to ask you how the quote relates to someone or a situation. Today's quote is, "I'm never wrong. One time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken." So, how does this quote relate to Kevin Durant refusing to go to the White House if invited? Now, for me, Kevin Durant is a world champion, and we know that Donald Trump, I don't really want to get into the politics of it, but Donald Trump has not handled the situation going on in Charlottesville, race relations. He has not handled that well at all. So Kevin Durant refusing to go, I don't think that he's wrong at all. I think that a lot of people might think he is, because it's a big honor to be invited to the White House, but isn't it an honor if you disagree with what your president is doing and saying? So people may think that he is mistaken by not going because he is not going with the honor, but he's never wrong. He went to a winning team. He's a champion. Cavaliers are still better, though. Go LeBron. First Lady, what do you think?
Oh, I agree with you. Kevin Durant, he's definitely not wrong. I mean, it isn't about politics. He just doesn't like what's going on in the White House with the way Donald Trump is handling the office. I mean, just the things that he said within the past week alone would give you reason for not.
First Lady, are you there?
Well, we may be having a little technical difficulty with the First Lady, but CJ.
Yes. I think that as many people that refuse to go and see President Obama in the White House versus Kevin Durant refusing to see this person in the White House, is not any different. They didn't want to acknowledge that. Why should we acknowledge him? Everyone has their own opinion of who's doing a great job or did a great job. I just think that If he doesn't wish to go as an American, he should have that right.
And if you think about it too, look at all of the New England Patriots that refused to go to the White House after they won the Super Bowl. There was quite a lot of them that were not present for that honor as
Right.
well. So, I mean, this is something that's going around, and I think it's great that athletes are taking a stand and speaking their mind. But that jambalaya was absolutely delicious. First Lady, did we get you back with your technical issues?
Okay, does not. It looks like we had something going on with the First Lady, but it is time for our panel to give us their outrageous predictions for this week. CJ, what is your outrageous prediction for this week? It doesn't have to be in the world of sports. It can be, but it can be any topic. What's your outrageous prediction for this week?
My outrageous prediction for this week is that Oprah is going to actually donate the money to Chicago public schools they need so they can open on time.
Oh, wow. And Oprah gifting, is that an outrageous prediction, or is that intending some good to happen? All right, Goddess Kelli, what is your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that after all of the things that have gone on in Charlottesville and all of the bad tension in this country, I think that we are going to see certain NFL players, we are going to see more of them take a stand similar to what Colin Kaepernick did. And I think that we are actually going to see some white NFL players participate in a protest this time around.
Both of y'all got those good intentions going this week. And did we get First Lady's mic back online? Okay, I don't know. It looked like we had a First Lady sighting there. My outrageous prediction for this week is that Jay Cutler will be the league MVP. All right, okay. And did the First Lady? Did we get the First Lady back?
Yes, there is some technical difficulty. Sorry about what was going on.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we have to tell old Grumpy that we might need more than Band-Aid and gum to keep this stuff running. Get us some real cable. All right. Well, First Lady, back to you with your outrageous prediction.
Well, my outrageous prediction is that Donald Trump will not have anybody to quit his office within the next 2 weeks. That's an outrageous prediction.
That might be outrageous.
All right. So anyway, we've been talking about baseball, and I'd like to call Rachel Robinson. I always call her the first woman of baseball with her husband that broke the baseball barrier. She once said, to reach your goals, there are times when you must transcend the obstacles that are being put in your way. Rise above them. And that is so fitting for what's going on in today's society. Please enjoy the poetic performance at the end.
Oh, no.
Excuse me.
Whoa,
Excuse me. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We got to get that. No. Please never say you're sorry on the air. Go for it.
CJ, anything you would like to share with the listeners? Any upcoming events, websites, or social media they can check out?
Of course. They need to check out Bras, Panties, and Sports. We always want them to give us a like. But if they're trying to improve themselves, they can also check out the Sabor group on Facebook at Sabor, where they can learn to love themselves and to make a better world. But if you happen to be in Chi-Town this weekend, there's things going on all over the city. This is one of the best weekends ever. We have the Air and Water Show. We've got the Glenwood Fest. We've got the African Fest, which just happened to call Dr. Reverend Jeremiah A. Wright Jr., the Grand Baba, this year, by the way. It's fantastic. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy the weekend, and I hope they stay safe. But if you happen to be in Atlanta, there's an all-you-can-eat seafood going on. Check that out, too.
All right, a lot of great places to be, Chicago and Atlanta. Goddess Kelli, how can the listeners check out your other broadcasts?
Well, you guys can check me out on blogtalkradio.com/momentum shift. My show, The Red Zone with Kelli and Rashawn, is live every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We bring sexy back to sports. We also throw in some politics and some pop culture. We are unscripted, uncensored, and live. You can also check me out on demand on going42.com. That's going for and then the number 2.com. And that's where you can get all your fantasy sports needs as well. You can follow me on Twitter at KELLIERUTTAR, or you can follow me at The Red Zone Live. We're also on Facebook at The Red Zone Live, or you can send me a friend request on Facebook or follow on Facebook as well. It's Kelli and my last name, RUTTAR.
Hey, Goddess Kelli, check her out. You can also check me out on Facebook/BPN Sport or oldgrumpyradio.com. Now we can listen and enjoy the poetic performance at the end of the show. This has been Cheryl Smith, CJ, Goddess Kelli. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.
You are my favorite addiction. From the way you kiss my lips to the way you make me move my hips. Shit. You keep me thinking about how warm I get inside when you lay in between my thighs. That's right. We can do it all night. But you like to tease me. Play with me so you can taste my cream. You keep me dreaming of you, and I can't wait till you come through so you can do what you do. Massaging my body, relaxing my mind. It's no wonder I enjoy being with you all the time. With that caramel red colored skin, smooth to the touch and tasty, just as much. I get excited and start writing when I think of you and all the things I like to do to you. You know I love your sex. It relieves all my stress. That's why I enjoy doing you best. But please, don't get it twisted. I'm addicted to your mind just as much. Our deep, penetrating conversations give me such a rush. And I'm pleased that you enjoy all of me as well. From the way you massage my thoughts and suck on my thighs to the way you give me all your time. And how you keep telling me that your dick is all mine. Sharing the better part of ourselves with one another. Damn, you're just a sexy brother. And you can have me in all ways. Outside, in the rain, or in the bathroom at work. Step back. Let me see how hard I gotta work it. Oh, shit. I did say I enjoy your mind, but I can't help thinking of all the positions we've tried, and I don't mind getting out the bed at 6, because I know it's going to be well worth it. When I feel you lick me from head to toe, and each lick allows it to grow and grow and grow at least 9 inches or more. And now I understand why you say the line stops here. Damn. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. If you didn't know, you are my favorite addiction. I just have one question. You got any new positions? I'm just kidding. But when I see you, I'm going to need more than a minute of your time. You've been gone, and I've missed you much. Signed with the poet, addicted to your love.